What's going on, guys? Chuck here. Once again, we're taking a look at my collection. So now I've pulled out the third section, section three, whatever you want to call it, and let's just get right to it. Starting off with a really big, important one for me, and that is my all-time favorite horror film. One of the earliest ones I can remember seeing as a kid. It really stuck with me, and I've always loved to this day. I just absolutely adore this film, and that is An American Werewolf in London. This is the Arrow 4K edition. I had the Blu-ray of this initially. Actually, fun story. I had just the standard edition Blu-ray that I bought. Again, it's before I really knew what Arrow really was about, and it was after the fact that, gee, if I'd known that, I should have got the whole set. So I had to buy the Blu-ray set brand new on eBay, and not long after that, they released a 4K version. And of course, I didn't have a 4K player, so I just said, "Oh, I got the Blu-ray. I'm fine." And I was fine. I should have been fine. I've said many times, but I wasn't fine. Not with an American Werewolf in London. And of course, by the time I got a 4K player, because it wasn't like, it wasn't a 4K Blu-ray combo. It was either 4K or it was it. They released the Blu-ray version. And this was the 4K, so I could buy that, but then I wouldn't, I wouldn't have anything to do with it. So by the time I finally got myself a 4K player, that edition was gone. So I had to, the history repeated itself. I had to go on eBay and find a brand new edition, reasonably priced, mind you, the 4K to get it. But again, that's one of the things I had to do. And you're going to see this happen a lot, unfortunately, with some of these Arrow 4Ks. I've learned my lesson. And now I have a 4K player, so I have no excuse. But I love this movie so much. This is, a huge part of my childhood. I saw this on cable all the time. My friends and I talked about it in the playground at school because it was the 80s and no one cared what you watch as a kid. I fell in love with Jenny Agutter, or Agutter, how do I pronounce the last name? Agutter, I believe it is, but she's so beautiful to me. Dave Naughton's great. I mean, this the effects, Jack Baker's effects. This is the first time I probably saw a movie and just was fascinated by the makeup effects. Especially the werewolf transformation. The main set piece of the film, if you will. But everything about this, all the different variations of Blue Moon in here, it's just great. I absolutely love An American Werewolf in London. I even have like the poster on the wall here. I have a mini poster signed by David Naughton. So yeah, this is my all-time favorite horror film, bar none. And I'm a big Friday the 13th fan, but this is better. and this is, for me, is better. Now, from that to An American Werewolf in Paris. I wanted so much from this film, which is my first mistake. If it had been called just a werewolf in Paris or something, Parisian Werewolf, I don't know. It wouldn't have the hate it does, or animosity it does. I don't know. But calling An American Werewolf in London and essentially trying to tie it to that film, but yet having no ties to that film, kind of hurt it. I know there were, talks of trying to do a sequel, or talk of sequels being trying to be made from the original film, and never really came to fruition. And I really wish that this film would have had some kind of connection. And right now, all it has is like a fleeting connection of the werewolf lore, kind of, but that's about it. And it's definitely played more for laughs than the original one. The original one is funny, but it's also very serious at times too when it needs to be. And I don't think Werewolf in Paris has that. It also suffers greatly from very bad and dated CGI effects. But yeah, it suffers from very bad and dated CGI effects. Even at the time, they weren't that great. So you can imagine how awful they'll look now. But it could have, on its own, it probably could have been fun and it's still forgettable, but it could have been okay. But it's definitely, because it's considered a follow up to American Werewolf in London, it really hurts us more. But also, again, it's just the effects are just awful. So nothing really fancy in here. Just checking it out, just to disc in the capper list. So there you go. It does have a 5.1 Dolby Digital Audio though. So, okay. Next up is the 4K of the Amityville Horror from Vinegar Syndrome, of all places. Now, I do have the Amityville Trilogy box set from Scream Factory. Actually, it's one of the first Scream Factory box sets I ever bought. And I got it specifically to get Amityville 3D because I had just purchased a 3D TV at the time. So I was excited to get that. This is a great classic haunted house movie, really. The story is classic. I have to go into, everyone knows about the Amityville horror. If you've never read the book, I highly recommend it. The book terrified me. Even whether you think it's a hoax, know it's a hoax, whatever the case may be, to read the book and it's time to take that away from it. Just lose yourself in the book, and it will give you chills. I mean, that book really, and I don't scare too easily, honestly. I read a book, I don't really get scared with. This one really creeped me out when I read it. Still it's the scariest book I've ever read at this point. But again, this 4K is great. So yeah, Amityville, when you get this great back of the slipcover. So there you go, Amityville Horror 4K. Next up, a little comedy with Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal. Analyze This. Cute little funny movie, also with Lisa Kudrow. We have Robert De Niro's kind of spoofing his typical gangster character who has psychological problems and needs a shrink. As Sir Billy Crystal comes in. It's funny. I'm trying to remember if I ever saw Analyze That. I know I don't have it. Well, I should get it. I don't know why I don't have it. But yeah, I don't remember if I've ever seen Analyze That. I should look into that. But this is an old DVD. This is also Warner Brothers snapper case. Look at that. So yeah, Analyze This. From Arrow 4K, The Andromeda Strain. Nice little. Who directed this? Robert Wise, but from the story from Michael Crichton. I really like this a lot, and it's one of the things like sci-fi films I'd always heard about from the 70s, but I'd never seen until I bought this. And I like the atmosphere, the feeling. I mean, I talked about this before. I love the look and feel of films from the 70s and early 80s. Just something about that. They just have I can't explain what it is, but I do like it. And I like there's some tension in this as they're trying to figure out what's causing this, strain, this Andromeda strain, as they're isolated in this facility trying to solve this mystery. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Next up, a classic which I should definitely upgrade to a 4K, and that is Animal House. This is a DVD. I still haven't gotten any Blu-ray in this, but there's a DVD of Animal House. So this is the Double Secret Probation Edition. Yeah, I need to upgrade this to 4K. Next was one that I just bought because it starred Christine Lindbergh. It was just recently released from Vinegar Syndrome. Let's see if I can show this to you. Yeah, I think so. Anita Swedish Nymphet. It says adults only. Now this is not, a adult film. It has adult themes. It's a hard R, soft core, if you will. It also has Stellan Skarsgård, a very young Stellan Skarsgård. I mean, so young. Head full of hair. It's like early 70s, but if you've ever seen the film Nymphomaniac, which you probably haven't, which also stars Stellan Skarsgård, there's a lot of similarities to that, and even in his character in some ways. Not completely, because that's the whole, but it's basically a woman who's got a nymphomaniac problem. And she's, trying to deal with it in some ways and never good ways. And still, the Skarsgård's the man who loves her and is trying to fix her. It's interesting. It is. And I got it strictly because of, who's in it, Christina Lindbergh. She's beautiful. And this is, it's not bad. It's in Swedish. So it's interesting. Okay. Next up is I love musicals. And this is a classic one from my youth. And it's from 1982, Annie. And this is the third anniversary sing-along edition on Blu-ray. I adore this movie. It's so cute. And it's directed by John Huston, of all people. You wouldn't think that. It's got Tim Curry, a great performance by Carol Burnett. Was it Bernadette Peters also? Albert Finney, who, when I see Albert Finney in this as Daddy Warbucks, I always look at him and think, man, he would have been a great Lex Luthor. He just looks like, the John Byrne version of Lex Luthor you see in the comics. You kind of see him there dancing with Annie. Yeah. But the songs are fun. It's cute. I didn't care to watch this. I think she really enjoyed this. I've never seen any of the remakes afterwards because I just don't see the point. I mean, that's old bias me, but this is so cute on its own. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the other takes. I mean, they are what they are. It's fine. But in my heart, none's going to replace this classic. Okay. Up next, right now we have, I think, our first Marvel movies, and it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I go, what the hell happened to Ant-Man? Well, Ant-Man's in a box set that I have, an MCU box set that I've picked up recently, and it's in there. So, along with a couple other early Marvel films, but here we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, enjoyable sequel. I don't think it's as good as the first movie, but it's still fun. And then followed by that, we have Ant-Man. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was a lot. It's a definitely different take than the first two Ant-Man films, and I think it's a victim of the real life incidents that kind of hurt what this was setting up with the whole I can't think of, was it Kang the Conqueror character? That was really what we're setting up this, and they had the teaser at the end was setting it up, and of course the Jonathan Majors issue happened. They axed that character altogether, had to rewrite things, so it gets crushed under the weight of all that. But we'll wait and see what happens with the new Avengers coming out, the Doomsday, and see if there's how they rework all that. It's honestly the multiverse saga of the MCU has been kind of a mess, but still, this slipcover is pretty cool. Look at that. Okay. Oh, we have another video nasty, and it's Anthropophagus. Another Severin, and I had this DVD too, but I replaced it with the Severin Blu-ray. This is another gross one, but fun. Here's a little TV movie I talked about years ago, Ants, starring Suzanne Somers. Well, not starring Suzanne Somers, but she's in it. Cute. Cute. I don't want to say cute because it's simple, it's fun. It's not really cute, especially if you're grossed out by bugs, because this is, it's a little hotel, gets swarmed by ants, and yeah, that's basically it. It's a creature feature with a lot of ants. It's also known as It Happened at Lakewood Manor, but Ants! Exclamation point is a much more fun title. And I also remember always seeing this VHS tape at the video store because it would be a close-up of a woman's breast with ants all over it. I think I mentioned that when I did the video. Okay, here's one I have not seen yet, but I bought it because one of the things I like to try and collect also, if I can find them, are any Blu-ray 3D films, specifically for movies that were originally shot in 3D. I don't necessarily mean like after 2010, where every film was getting a Blu-ray 3D just cause, even though it wasn't a made for in 3D film. But films from that era, the 80s and 60s or whatever, that actually were shot with 3D cameras made to be 3D, and getting to see them in actual 3D, good or bad or horrible. So I have Ape in 3D, and I got this specifically because this is in 3D, a 3D Blu-ray. That's really all I need. I have not had a chance to watch this one in 3D yet. I know it's going to be bad. I know it's not a good movie, but I'm excited to see the 3D effects, and hopefully we'll talk about it when I can get to it. What we got here? Another classic 80s film, April Fool's Day. Here's one I got. I was surprised, actually. It took me a while to get this from Amazon, or before I could order it, and I got it from Amazon, and I was lucky I still got a slipcover when it came out because at that point it had been a while. But I tend to luck out with Amazon sometimes with that. I remember I ordered Vice Squad from them, and it had been like years since it came out, and I still got a slipcover. Recently, I ordered, no, actually, I went Harry Met Sally from Shout Factory on sale, and it came with a slipcover, and it had been years since it came out. So I get lucky every now and then. But it's, again, good 80s slasher film, classic April Fool's Day. With, was it, why am I drawing a blank? Amy Steele. Yes, Amy Steele. So, okay. Oh, a great historic film. I don't know. Historic drama. Apollo 13. It's the 4K. Great movie. And this 4K is amazing too. This is a film that's great with good sound, big screen. I watched this on the projector when I got it, and it was just Euro immersed. It was so good. And I mean, no matter how many times I watch it, I'm always just right in there with the story. There's great performances by Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, and Tom Hanks, and it's and Gary Sinise also. Ed Harris was really good. I think Ed Harris got an Oscar nomination for this for Best Supporting Actor, and of course Tom Hanks was nominated for Best Actor also. So this would be, if he'd have won this, it would have been his third in a row. He had this one year before for Forrest Gump, and year before that for Philadelphia. So, but he lost this one to Nicolas Cage for Leaving Las Vegas. But still, great movie. Apollo 13 still holds up very well. This 4K is great. Here we go. Aquaman Blu-ray. This is just Blu-ray DVD digital. This is fun. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Not much to say. I think this is obviously by this point the DCU was on its last legs. And for all their faults, I still enjoy the DC movies. I can look, I mean, I'm a DC guy, more of a Marvel when it comes to actual comic characters and itself. But I won't argue that the DC movies are better than Marvel. They're because they're not. But they're just different in my opinion. They have some weaknesses, and they're too rushed. Marvel took their time and did it the right way. At least the first phases, if you will, where everyone tried to jump on that bandwagon and rush to get that done. It didn't work out. But Aquaman is still fun, and even though Amber Heard, her reputation's sunk water now with the whole Johnny Depp thing. She is gorgeous as Mera in this movie and in Justice League. I just love her look, and I think she's really fun. But you got, was it Patrick Wilson does a pretty good job also, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman was interesting casting. It's not who I would think to cast as Aquaman. I still think it's great. I think I would have went with something a little different, but he makes it work. And kudos to them for actually putting him in the costume, because you would think it's as silly as the costume is, they would do that, but they did it. Kudos to them. And then last one was like Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. This is a buddy cop film, more or less, with Aquaman and his brother Patrick Wilson again. It's fun. It's okay. I think it was basically, here it is. Let's get it out and move on, and we're gonna just reboot everything anyways. But it's not bad. Amber Heard cut out a lot of this film apparently because of the aforementioned issues. Okay, back to Disney, and with one I have not seen yet, and that is the Aristocats. This is the Disney's 100th anniversary editions, I guess, judging by the 100 there. This is a Blu-ray and DVD, right? Yep, special edition DVD, Blu-ray. Oh, here's one I think I just heard was getting a 4K release, but I don't know by who. And man, I was really hoping it would be Criterion, because that's who released this original edition, did such a great job with it. And I have one major gripe with this edition. And of course, we're talking about Armageddon. They said it's a Criterion DVD, Criterion Collection DVD, and this is a great 2-disc set. However, the film is not an anamorphic widescreen. It's widescreen, but again, it's not anamorphic, so it's not going to stretch out to your 16:9 television, which is bad because I to watch this, like I said, I got to stretch the screen out, and that's not good. A shame because this is a fun movie. I remember when this came out in theaters in '96. It was huge. Of course, the Aerosmith song was great. It's ridiculous, kind of outlandish, but fun. My God, you're hooping and hollering at you. You didn't care. That's when you went to movies and just had fun. You roll with it. The premise might be ridiculous, and this was also a time when everybody was doing the same movie because you had this, and there was Deep Impact where a meteor was coming to hit the Earth, and Morgan Freeman was president. As also at the same time, you had stuff like Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan and was Linda Hamilton in that, and then you had Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche, which is a great movie. Another one that's kind of been lost. But anyway, so yeah, I heard someone's getting releasing a 4K this. I don't know who, but I hope they can kind of get all the features back on this if they do, and because this is a great Criterion Collection edition. It's old DVD. Like I said, it's not an anamorphic widescreen, which is a bummer. Okay, here's a classic '80s film comedy with Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli. Arthur, again, old snapper case DVD. I had not seen Arthur in a long time. And of course, as a kid growing up, even this is like 1981, I think it is, 81, 82. I couldn't tell you the print's too small. But everyone knows the Christopher Cross song, the best that you can do, or what's it called? I can't remember the exact title of it, but you know what it's called. If you get caught between the moon and New York City, yeah. But that's a huge hit, and I remember that all the time as a kid growing up. And whenever I think of Dudley Moore, I always thought of Arthur and his drunk little laugh. But I remember watching this and thinking, "Wow, this is a really fun and sweet movie." John Gielgud was really good. I think he won the Oscar for this too, or at least he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I never saw Arthur 2 on the rocks. I don't think he needed a sequel. Arthur's fine. I never saw the remake either because even though it has Helen Mirren in the John Gielgud role, but you have I can't remember the British actor who's hit and miss with some people in the role and a little too obnoxious, I think. And where Dudley Moore's Arthur, he can be childish but it's funny, it's endearing. God, I wish I could remember what the actor's name is in that, the new one, but he's again he small doses of that guy. Russell Brand. Yeah, it doesn't work. But anyways, Arthur. Here's another one. Or from '97 is a Best Picture nominee. One of the first year I got to see almost every film nominated for Best Picture that year, with the exception of The Full Monty, and that was As Good as It Gets with Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson. A film that got Jack Nicholson his third Academy Award, I think the second Best Actor, and got Helen Hunt the Academy Award for Best Actress. Excuse me. This is a fun little movie with Jack playing like a hypochondriac, OCD kind of character. It probably would. I got a feeling like people will be offended by it today for some reason because of the character he's playing. But it's fun. It's fun to see Jack do some comedy, even though it's always Jack. No matter what he does, it's always Jack. The dog's funny. And honestly, I also have a hard time with Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson as a couple, or being a love interest. But overall, I can take it away. It's a fun movie. And last is Assault of the Party Nerds 1 and 2. This was just a, what do you call this? A late night classics. Again, this is a case where I like these raunchy, ridiculous teen sex comedies of the '80s because they don't make these kind of films anymore because people would be too offended by stuff like this. I like getting these good and bad just to have them. And plus, these have Linnea Quigley, at least the first one does. And I think Michelle Bauer, so classic screen queens. And the first one's bad, but it's fun. It's fun and simplicity. I haven't seen the second one yet. I have to go back and get around to it. But like I said, it's just nothing special. It is what it is. Assault of the Party Nerds. A bunch of nerds, and the only ones in their own fraternity. Got to recruit some more people. They got to throw a party. They got to get girls to do it. It's just that simple. So that's it for the third section of the shelf. If you enjoyed this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Let me know if there's anything here that you haven't seen in a while that you'd like to see or sound interesting, or if you've got interesting stories about them, or just say hi. I'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.